Raw meat. My name is Carlos Barty, and I own Carltopia surfboards and surf adventures. Carltopia, it's been a name for a while that I've always had in the back of my mind, and then when I shaped my first board when I was 19, when I started to actually produce them, I wrote it on that board and it just grew from there, and now it's a thing. Mostly inspired by what I see. I look a lot to like the American guys and what they're making and try to see what I can do my own versions of it. Like I never try to copy anything. I always try to put my own little piece in it, so it's never like a full copy. Inspired by the boards I ride, by good surfers and what they're riding, and just kind of my own style of doing things, but getting it across, trying to make it like unique and out there, because a lot of boards all look the same, you know, and that's kind of, it gets a bit repetitive. In my little shack in the garden here, hand shape all my boards. No boards will be touched by machines except my trusty planer. Yeah, hand shaping has just always been more drawn to me than like machine shapes and things like that. Never been a big technology whiz, so I always saw myself going the more like a natural way of making things. I don't really make performance boards. I make traditional boards. I make twin fins, single fins, logs, finless boards. I try to stay away from high performance short boards and like, yeah, thrusters mostly. I make a couple thrusters, but like very off-center, crazy looking things. Because I feel like a thruster, people want exact perfection, and that's like, leave that to the machines. We're gonna make the good fun stuff, yeah, you know. It's all about, yeah, drawing unique lines. I feel like surfing's so overpopulated with everyone trying to draw the same lines and copy each other, and if you're making these different boards, throwback boards or modern day approaches on old boards, right board for the right conditions, and you'll always have a good time. My go-to board depends on the waves. Small waves, go to my 9/8 log. When the waves get good, twin fin, trusty twin, yeah, does the job, barrels, everything. So you don't need a thruster, you know.
I fully agree.
Most of the boards I do all myself, and some boards I get artists to collaborate with me. Nowadays, mostly it's just me finding things that I like and putting it underneath. You know, if it's a cool cloth inlay or some crazy resin tint, just keeping it different. That's the main thing for me. It's like I don't want to just be put in a box with everyone else. I want it to be something unique, so when someone gets a board, it's like a wow factor to it, you know, as opposed to like, oh, here's another board with one color here and one color there, you know. Like very against surfboards being put on walls. Like that's my pet peeve. Being someone who likes old boards as well, like it's really hard to get your hands on these boards because they now become collector's items, you know, and they sell for more than your regular board. So it's like, you want a piece of history, you're gonna have to go pay a lot. So all these people that buy these boards and they end up putting it on their wall, and it's like, that thing was made to be surfed. I think you know, you should surf it till it dies and then strip it and make another board out the foam again and surf it again till it dies. And you know, also with pollution and things like that. So I've been doing a lot of upcycles because people, they'll just like use a board and when it's done, they'll just kind of throw it away, and it's just so bad for the environment. So a lot of the time I'll take an old longboard, I'll strip off all the glass and make it like a twin fin or a finless out of it. So it just gives it that foam another life. got a couple things. If you keep your eyes peeled in the future, we've got a couple really exciting projects trying to use different things for blanks and like different resins that are all like eco-conscious and things like that. But at the moment, there's not a lot going on in the surf industry that I'm aware of where they're going fully eco-conscious, because that's our biggest problem. Surfing's all like love for nature, except for the things we ride are all poisonous. Anyone that orders a board from me, they know they're getting something like weird. Like I mean, I'll make a board and I'll know, in my opinion, I think it goes good, but it's not the traditional thing you'll see like on a rack for sale. It's, you know, it's unique in its own ways. It's got little differences that you, especially other shapers, can notice. That kind of just makes mine unique. So like people that order a board from me, they know they're getting a Carltopia special, you know. It's not like, you're not gonna go in there, gotta come to me and tell me exactly what you want. It's a tough job, especially with how many shapers there are out there. So I'm not trying to be the world's biggest name in surfing. I'm just here making boards and surfing, having a good time. I mean, all boards work. All boards work. You just have to find out how they work. That'll be my philosophy to the world, you know? It's, a lot of people will pick up a board and go, oh, this one doesn't work, or this one doesn't work. They all work. You just gotta give them the time, figure them out, and then they go good. It's like, I've had 1 or 2 boards I've made for myself that I've been like, whoa, this is like weird. But then after like surfing it for a month, turns out like one of my favorite boards, because it's just figuring it out at the beginning, you know, with experimentation and all that kind of stuff. You really got to give it a go. You can't just be like, oh, this doesn't work. Yeah, that's a tough question, because I suppose everyone rides different boards, and you don't know what you want until you know what you want. So it's just going out there and experimenting and not taking it too harshly. And in the end, it's the surfboard, but it's also the surfer. So, you know, like I ride traditional logs with no like hard edge, and someone else will ride that and say that's a horrible board, and then I'll get on their board and I'll probably say this is a horrible board, you know. Okay, I'll tell you how I started shaping. So I went and lived in the Philippines for 4 months and ended up selling my longboard up there, and came back and I had nothing here, no wheels, no nothing. So I thought, okay, either I can buy a motorbike or I can buy a surfboard. After like a week of thinking about it, I thought, screw it, no motorbike, no surfboard, bought a blank, emptied out my dad's whole workshop, put a light in there, made a makeshift shaping bay, pumped out the board, and that's still the board that he rides to this day, and I still love it as well. Small little waves, perfect nose rider, but I had no idea what I was doing, and it just, it worked. It was sick. When I went to Bali though, I kind of got kicked out of the day's surf store like every day. So I'd like run in there and you're like not allowed to touch the boards, and then I was like feeling all the rails and like checking the tail and like, you know, looking at the concaves, and then someone in the shop would be like, what are you doing? Like first couple of days I'd be like, oh, I'm just looking, and it'd kick me out, and then like at the end, I figured out like I'm just gonna pretend I'm gonna buy this thing, you know. Coming here, I was like, yo, no, I want a longboard, you know. And meanwhile, I was just sussing it all out so I could see what they were doing. For now, I'm just focusing on just perfecting shaping in my mind, because I quite critically analyze what I do, and every time I try better those little points that I feel like I'm not 100% perfect at. And then just planning on growing my business from the surf tours and the surf lessons to the surfboards. Majority of the boards I sell are things that I ride and I know and I trust. So when I give it to someone, it's not like I've made this board and everything looks right and it's what it should be, but I don't know if it goes good. I'd prefer to know like this shape, I know it goes good. I can give it to someone and then they can decide for themselves, kind of. Yeah, I got some new beanies coming out, and then I got the Carltopia surfboards shirts, and yeah. The surf lessons are taking off now. I've been doing a lot of surf lessons at Muizenberg, just teaching people either longboards, like cross-stepping, nose riding, or even just learning to surf. And then next year we're going to be launching the tours, which will be West Coast and East Coast trips. And everyone can go out there and, I'll take them up in the van, live the whole South African coastline life and just have a jaw, eat boerewors and get cooking waves. Yeah. Just enjoy the small things in life, have a good time, and don't get too stressed about everything around you. Life goes on, life's short, and I think that's about all my knowledge. To the youth, man.